So let us start a new class with the new heavy metal toxicity, that is the mercury toxicity. Mercury toxicity, or you can say mercury, is also known as quicksilver. And if you go through the history of the mercury toxicity, you will find some of the very good example in the history. Amongst the history, you will find one toxicity. That one is the historical disaster occur in the Japan, and that is a bay, and the name of the bay was Minamata Bay. And this Minamata Bay, here there was a industry, and that industry effluent if coming in the rivers. So people residing nearby the river, they went through a toxicity, that is the mercury toxicity. And this one probably one of the earliest reported mercury toxicity, that is in Japan, and the bay was the Minamata Bay. And about 46 reported human being died because of birth and neurological defect. This Minamata Bay, actually what happened, this industry which effluent are coming in the river, and in the river the inorganic mercury from that industrial plant, in this river this inorganic mercury get converted into methyl form of mercury. We call it the methyl mercury. So this effluent inorganic mercury, after methylation, with the help of metabolism, with the help of microorganism, and this methyl mercury get exposed, or I mean that concentration of mercury is coming in the plankton algae, and the plankton algae ate by the fish, and that methyl mercury get concentrated in the fish, and those people residing nearby that city, that bay, get exposed with the mercury because of after intake of the fish for a long time interval. And as usually a chronic toxicity occur, about 121% were reported about the poisoning, and out of 121, 46 human being died. So this one, as I mentioned, is the first one. Second one, you can say later on in the year 1972, Iraq, he imported the seeds, and that seeds are actually the seed of wheat as well as the barley. Actually, the exporter told that don't take it because this wheat and barley is treated with the methyl mercury. Even though the country Iraq took this wheat as well as the barley, and they made it a bread, and after taking this bread made from the seed wheat and barley, get exposed with the toxicity of methyl mercury, and therefore the toxicity occur, and about 6,530 get victims of the methyl mercury toxicity, and out of this about 500 died. So this one is the another historical report regarding the toxicity with the mercury, particularly the methyl mercury, that is the organic mercury. So usually you will find motility is more in the organic mercury, particularly the methyl mercury, or you can say the alkyl mercury. Uh, as we earlier discussed, most of the heavy metal, they have very much affection with the sulfhydryl group. So as I mentioned, the sulfhydryl group is present in many physiological enzymes participating in the Krebs cycle and as well as other physiological function, and therefore once the heavy metal get inactivate the enzyme by interacting with the by attaching or interacting with the sulfhydryl group, the enzyme get inhibited, its activity get inhibited, and therefore it leads to the toxicity. So likewise, mercury is also a metal, did the same type of toxicity by binding with the sulfhydryl group of the protein, and along with this binding with the sulfhydryl group, the mercury is also binding with the other group that present in the physiological compound, that may be amine, that may be the carboxyl, that may be the amide, and others also. Regarding mercury toxicity reported in the history, the first was by the Hippocrates, and later on the Paracelsus. This is one of the very renowned toxicologists. He used the mercury as a therapeutic agent used for the therapy of disease syphilis. So mercury earlier also used as a therapeutic agent for various purposes, but later on, once the people aware, scientists aware about the mercury toxicity, slowly and slowly, mercury as a therapeutic agent is not are to be used because of its toxicity. The drugs under which the mercury are present, like the antiseptic, antibacterial, diuretic, skin ointment, laxative. So nowadays we usually not prefer to use mercury compound as a therapeutic agent because of its toxic effect. So now we have to proceed slowly and slowly. In this, we have to go through the first heading, the chemical form of the mercury. So mercury is existing in mainly inorganic form and organic form. This inorganic form of mercury is existing as elemental mercury or inorganic mercurials or mercurial salt. This elemental mercury, the best example of elemental mercury is the thermometers, and the elemental mercury is existing in oxidation from 0 also plus 2 also, and it may converted into methyl mercury when it get exposed with the environment, but have the limited toxicity with the elemental mercury. Regarding inorganic mercurials or inorganic mercurial salt is concerned, the best example we are using as a preservative, also using as a fixatives, and this inorganic mercurials existing in mainly two oxidation stage or oxidation number 1 and 2. So the two oxidation state mercury is called mercuric, means ic form, and another form is the us form, that is plus one form. Regarding if you want to differentiate these two, the ic form of the inorganic mercurials is the highly irritating, as well as because of irritating property it precipitates the protein. So therefore, the inorganic mercurials is mainly or in acute toxicity, mainly responsible for toxicity because of its corrosive nature, and because of its corrosive nature, the inorganic mercurials is going to precipitate the protein, and because of the corrosive nature, this is going to inflame the GI tract, whole GI tract. And this ick form is more toxic than the us form or monovalent form than the divalent form, because the divalent form is more toxic because of more absorbability. Now we have to go through the this inorganic salt also get converted into methyl mercury. Regarding toxicity, we already discussed that this is going to precipitate the protein, and therefore it denature and coagulate the protein, and therefore because of this corrosive nature, it precipitates precipitation nature of the protein, this is going to produce the necrotizing effect on the gastrointestinal tract, and this is usually found in acute toxicity. And when it get absorbed, usually inorganic salt of the mercury is less absorbed, so once it get absorbed, it is going to comes in the kidney, and it produce the kidney toxicity. So kidney toxicity is mainly concerned with the inorganic salt or inorganic mercurial salt, because the more main route of excretion of inorganic mercurial salt is the urine or through the kidney, and therefore because of this route of excretion, the mercury, inorganic mercury is going to be deposited in the kidney, and therefore it produces the acute renal toxicity. And this is very very interesting and important. So one form that we have completed, that is the inorganic form, that is existing in elemental and as well as the inorganic mercurial salt. And next is the organic mercury. Organic mercury is more toxic than the inorganic one, because this organic mercurial is lipophilic in nature. So because of the lipophilic nature, this is very much get absorbed, and because of its absorbability as well as it reach to the brain, this is going to produce the toxicity. And this organic mercurials is in two form, that is the alkyl form and aryl form. Alkyl form is the more toxic than the aryl form. This is very very important. The alkyl form are methyl mercury and ethyl mercury, and this is also used as a fungicide. And as I earlier mentioned, because the absorbability of organic mercury, particularly the alkyl mercurials, are high in nature because of the lipophilic in nature, more solubility, and therefore it reach in the brain, particularly the cerebral cortex, and therefore it causes the neurotoxicity. The symptom you will find like the related to the neurotoxicity, like blindness, ataxia, that is you can say not in coordination, then you will find later on the paralysis, then the coma and death. And if you are going to compare that, we earlier mentioned the alkyl is more toxic than the aryl one. Regarding this form, this alkyl or aryl mercurial is also get converted into divalent form, and because when this get converted into divalent form of the mercury, this is going to bind with the sulfur. So both divalent form of the mercury as well as methyl mercury, particularly in the mercurous form, having the capability to bind with the sulfur, that the sulfhydryl containing compound present in the body, and this bond is covalent bond, and therefore this is going to produce the toxicity. So we have to discuss toxicity later on. So after the first one, that is about the chemistry of the mercury, we have to go through the source of the mercury. So regarding source of mercury is concerned, the main source is the product that we are having, so as the environment in which the mercury is present through the different product that we are using. So the source of mercury toxicity are the coal, where we are using this coal as a fossil fuel, as well as the therapeutic agent, as well as some of the agrochemicals in which the mercury is present. So these are the sources of mercury toxicity. If you are going to see the product of this mercury, the products are the most prominent example is the thermometers, then also the barometer. Also the most important is the batteries. Battery is not having the lead, but also lead having the this mercury, as well as the mercury tube that also contain the mercury. Also in the paint, the mercury is present, and that we also discuss the medicine like ointment has, and other drug that also contain the mercury, and therefore it leads to the mercury toxicity. Regarding the environment, how this will come in the environment when we are using this as a fungicide, or this is also coming from the mercury cathode, also it is coming from the industry and also from the coal, and these all are coming in the this is the pond, and the fish get concentrated with the mercury, and therefore it produces the toxicity. So this we already discussed the chemistry, then source of the mercury. Now the third one is the factors. What are the factors which affect the mercury toxicity? And this is very, very important as well as the interesting. How? If you go through the species, ruminant are more exposed and as well as the sensitive. Amongst the ruminant, cow and calf are highest in sensitivity with the mercury toxicity in case of animal, and other animal like horse, pig, and fowls, they are less susceptible in nature. If you go through the chemical form of the toxicity with the mercury, you will find the mercury is in organic form. So organic mercuric compounds are lipophilic in nature, more absorbable. So this is more toxic than the inorganic form. Inorganic form. You may say sometime this is with the elemental form, elemental mercury also, but this is not always correct with the elemental mercury, because when you are taking elemental mercury through elemental mercury is showing property to get vaporized, and when the elemental mercury get vaporized and when it get absorbed from the inhalational route, respiratory route, the toxicity is very high. So if you are going to concern to the organic and inorganic mercury compound, the organic mercury compound is more toxic because of lipophilicity than the inorganic form. And if you are comparing between the aryl and alkyl, alkyl organic is more toxic than the aryl organic mercury compound. Now we have to go through the solubility. The as we earlier mentioned, the divalent is more toxic than the monovalent. Why? Because divalent is soluble in nature, therefore it absorbs more, therefore it produces more toxicity than the monovalent. So if you are going to compare the solubility between the monovalent and divalent mercury, particularly the inorganic mercury, then you will find divalent is more soluble, more toxic than the monovalent. If you go through the route of exposure under the factor affecting the toxicity, route of exposure is very, very important, that we earlier mentioned. If you are considering the elemental mercury, as we mentioned, this elemental mercury is possessing property to get vaporized, and the vapor form of elemental mercury get easily absorbed from respiratory passages, and this respiratory passage is through absorption is going to produce higher toxicity. So route of absorption is very, very important, and when you this elemental mercury comparing with the oral form of absorption, this is rather non-toxic. So elemental mercury is highly toxic through inhalational absorption than the oral absorption. So this is very, very important. Then you have to go through the some other factors, dietary factor. So when there is mercury toxicity, and you are taking mercury drug along with the selenium and vitamin E, the toxicity of mercury is very much less and get reduced. Therefore, the selenium and vitamin E is one of the therapeutic agent for organic mercury toxicity therapy. So this is very, very important. Regarding duration of exposure is concerned, when the mercury, particularly this elemental mercury, get exposed for shorter time interval, then it produce mainly the irritating type of acute toxicity, particularly the because of the corrosive nature. And when it get absorbed and it reach in the CNS, it produce neurotoxicity. So in early case, the mercury is going to produce the irritation because of precipitation of protein because of its corrosive nature, and acute type of toxicity, and later on once it get absorbed, this is going to produce the neurotoxicity. And regarding accumulation of mercury is concerned, we earlier mentioned the organic mercurials is very much get concentrated, and that is why we are calling it bioaccumulated. In example is fish, and that is why the toxicity held in the history in the Minamata Bay. So this is very very important, and very very important. Next point under the heading is exposure. Regarding exposure is concerned, the earlier is the acute toxicity, and later on it get absorbed and get deposited in kidney, as well as get reach in the central nervous system. This is going to produce toxicity. So acute toxicity is the limited, and also chronic toxicity occur, and but chronic toxicity is more danger when it pass out the BBB and reach in the brain. So this become more important at that time. So this is about the exposure of mercury is concerned. Now we have to go through the toxicokinetic of mercury. So we earlier always telling the definition of toxicokinetic. It is that similar to the pharmacokinetic, ADME, absorption, distribution, metabolism, and excretion of the toxicant is called toxicokinetic. And when we are talking about the drug, there is we are calling it the pharmacokinetic. So this is very very important and interesting. So first we have to go through the absorption of the mercury compound. So earlier we have mentioned the organic compound of the mercury, like methyl and ethyl mercury, or you can say the alkyl mercury, is very much absorbed because of its lipophilicity. It is about 70 to 90% of the mercury, organic mercury compound, is get absorbed through gastrointestinal tract. And regarding when you are going to see the inorganic mercury, among the inorganic mercury, particularly the vaporized mercury that get converted into vaporized vapor, that is also having very high absorbability through the inhalational route. So this is also very much toxic. Because of this is very very much toxic, and this is also lipophilic, similar to the organic mercurials. So this is very very important. Regarding elemental mercury through gastrointestinal tract, is very much or very meager amount is absorbed through gastrointestinal tract, as well as the inorganic mercuric salt is also very slowly absorbed through the gastrointestinal tract. So this is very much important when you are considering the toxicity with the different form of the mercury. Now we have to go through the distribution. As we earlier mentioned, the organic mercury compound which not which pass through all mercury, all form of the mercury pass the placenta, and therefore it produces fetal toxicity, and therefore this is fetal malformation occur. And when you are going to see the alkyl organic mercurial mercury compound, like methyl mercury or ethyl mercury, it accumulated in brain, and therefore this is going to produce the toxicity. But the inorganic mercuric compound do not reach in the brain, and they're not accumulated in the brain. However, the inorganic mercuric salt is accumulated in the renal cortex. This is very very important. So this is difference in toxicity as different because of different form of the mercury. How the inorganic mercury compound is mainly responsible for GI tract as well as the kidney toxicity. However, the alkyl organic mercury compound is mainly produce toxic symptom and dangerous toxic symptom because of its accumulation in the brain. So this is very very important regarding the toxicity and distribution is concerned. As we earlier mentioned, because this inorganic mercury get excreted out through the kidney, and therefore this is going to be deposited in the renal cortex, particularly the renal cell lysosome. So this is very, very important. Regarding metabolism of the mercury is concerned, elemental mercury get oxidized and get converted into divalent form of the mercury, and and this alkyl mercury is also metabolized, but the metabolism of alkyl mercurials or mercuric compound like ethyl and methyl mercury also metabolized in form of divalent mercury, and this is also going to produce toxicity by converting it in the divalent mercury form. Regarding aryl mercurials, this is also one of the example of organic mercurials is concerned. They are rapidly converted into the inorganic form of the mercury. Which one? Aryl mercurial form. And this is one of the region the alkyl is more toxic than the aryl, because this is mainly converted into the inorganic salt. However, the alkyl form is get converted into divalent mercury, as well as is methyl form is also toxic, produces the neurotoxicity with both the form divalent as well as the methyl mercury. So now regarding excretion is concerned, we already discussed, because this inorganic is not going to accumulate in the brain, and therefore the inorganic mercury is mainly excreted out through the urine, because as we mentioned, this inorganic mercury compound, after it absorption, it reaches to the kidney, and in kidney it get deposited because of the presence of the sulfhydryl group in the mitochondria and lysosome. And organic mercurials, we earlier mentioned, this is going to produce the neurotoxicity, but the route of excretion of organic mercurials is mainly the bile and the feces through the hepatic excretion. So inorganic form is mainly through the urine, organic form is mainly through the bile and feces are the route of excretion of the different form of the mercury. Now we have to go through the toxicodynamics. So similar to the pharmacodynamics, here there we are talking about the toxic effect of the drug, and here we are the effect of drug in case of pharmacodynamics, whereas in toxicodynamic we are going to consider the toxicity of the toxicant. So this is also called toxicological damage produced by the toxicant, or you can say mechanism of toxicological damage is also called toxicodynamics. So now we have to go through the mechanism of action, and this is very, very important. Why? This mercury is going to produce mainly toxicity by interacting with the sulfhydryl group, then its corrosive nature, and then its other action. So mainly the toxicity of the mercury is concerned with the interaction of mercury with the sulfhydryl group, and the sulfhydryl group containing enzyme get affected, and therefore it produces the toxic effect. Not only the sulfhydryl group, the mercury is going to be interacting, but the mercury is also interacting with the enzyme choline acetyl transferase. So this enzyme choline acetyl transferase is participating in the synthesis of acetylcholine, a neurotransmitter. So this methyl mercury particularly inhibiting the enzyme choline acetyl transferase, therefore it decreases the acetylcholine neurotransmitter synthesis and produces the motor dysfunction. However, the other mechanism of action, as we earlier mentioned, that the mercury is particularly the inorganic form is highly irritant and corrosive in nature, and therefore it produces the precipitation of protein, and because of the precipitation of the protein, because of the soluble inorganic salt of mercury, this become GI mucosa irritation, and you will find the symptom associated with the GI mucosa because of inflammation as well as the precipitation of protein. And this is going to produce after the absorption, this soluble inorganic salt is rich in the renal canaliculi or renal tubule, and therefore produces their renal toxicity. And as we earlier mentioned, the mercury is not having only affection with the sulfhydryl group containing physiological compound, but also going to interact with the other compound that we already mentioned, that is going to combine with the phosphoryl group of the physical phosphoryl group present in the physiological compound, carboxyl group, amide group, amine group. So this way the mercury is going to produce that toxicity. Here I am going to discuss more better way. So you have to see this mercury is possessing the property, the high affinity with the mercury. So where this high affinity with the sulfhydryl group, so where this sulfhydryl group is more present, sulfhydryl containing in proteins are glutathiones. So this is one of the very important antioxidant compound of the physiological compound, you can say. Also in the cysteine you will find the sulfhydryl group, and the many enzyme of the Krebs cycle that also containing the sulfhydryl group. So this is very very important. As well as we earlier mentioned, in the kidney this the sulfhydryl is going to be deposited. Why? Because there you particularly the mercuric chloride is going to dysfunction the renal produces the renal dysfunction, and therefore it affect the brush border enzyme, and it get excreted out through the urine, like the enzyme which affected with the mercuric chloride are alkaline phosphatases, then gamma GT. This is also going to affect the mitochondrial morphology of the kidney, and therefore it produces the kidney necrosis. So this is very very important because of its affection with the sulfhydryl group. Now we have to discuss some more point with the toxicity. As we earlier mentioned, this is going to produce the renal tubule necrosis, because of its the property to combine with the some of the enzyme present on the brush border. Also that we already mentioned, they bind with the sulfhydryl group containing enzyme in the microsome and mitochondria present in the endoplasmic reticulum. Particularly we are concerned to the hair kidney, and also particularly this divalent form is going to form the mercaptide with the present in the that is the mercaptide is that remove the hydrogen group from the sulfhydryl group, and therefore this is going to produce the mercaptide. So this is very very important regarding this organic alkyl mercuriols, particularly the methyl and ethyl mercury is concerned, that we earlier mentioned. This is particularly concerned to the brain, and therefore this is going to produce the toxicity concerned to the brain. So neurotoxicity this is going to lead. As we earlier mentioned, mercury, elemental mercury is highly convertible in form of vapor, and this elemental mercury vapor get absorbed through the inhalational route, and when it get reach in the lungs, and therefore because through the reaching in the lungs, this is going to produce the toxicity because of its corrosive in nature, and because of its corrosive in nature it precipitates the protein of the mucosa, and therefore it produces the inflammation of the lungs like bronchitis and pneumonitis. So this is very very important and interesting. So you will find the toxicity also as per the compound of the mercury is concerned. So this is very very important. If you go through the toxicity, particularly the concerned to the methyl mercury, the methyl mercury is mainly going to produce the toxicity concerned to the neurotoxicity, and neurotoxicity associated with the methyl mercury are producing various symptoms, and the most important symptom associated with the methyl mercury that is coming under the alkyl methyl mercury compound are neurotoxic effect, and that neurotoxic effect symptom are paresthenia, then ataxia, then neurasthenia, then vision and hearing loss, then spasticity and tremors, and finally it produces coma and death. This is only because of the toxicity associated with the methyl mercury, that is the neurotoxicity that reach in the brain, and therefore it produces the neurotoxicity. How this is going to produce the neurotoxicity? Because of its binding with the sulfhydryl group. So the symptom you will find are paresthenia. What is this paresthenia? Paresthenia is numbness. Numbness means the loss of sensation, and tingling sensation. Tingling sensation means ki stinging and pricking sensation. This you will find numbness, that is the loss of sensation, and tingling sensation, that is pricking and stinging sensation, is found on the mouth and the lips and the extremities like fingers and toes. This is called paresthenia. However, the other neurotoxic effect with the methyl mercury are ataxia. So, what is ataxia? This is the incoordination, muscular incoordination. So, when there is body is going through the muscular incoordination, the body is not going to produce the proper functioning, and because of the improper functioning of the body is not going to perform any physiological function properly. The symptom you will found the clumsy stumbling gait, then the difficulty in swallowing, then articulating words, you are not able to talk properly. So these are the concern with the paresthenia, then ataxia, then neurasthenia. Neurasthenia means nerve weakness. So when there is nerve become weak because of the neurotoxicity, this is going to produce the generalized sensation weakness. So weakness of nerve, weakness of the nerve, the sensation is not coming properly, and also the patient get fatigue and unable to get concentrate in any type of work. Along with these symptoms, other symptoms that is concerned to the neurotoxicity are vision and hearing loss, then the spasticity and tremors, coma and death. So these all are the concern to the neurotoxicity. So now we have to go through the other toxicity concern to the toxicity. The other subheading after the toxicodynamic is the toxicity. So under the toxicity, if you are going to compare the all form of mercury, which one is having the highest toxicity? So alkyl mercury is highest in toxicity, then the aryl one. Why? Because the alkyl is going to be a lipophilic and absorb more as well as it reach in the brain. However, the aryl form is no doubt also get absorbed, but it is mainly converted into the inorganic form. Which one? Aryl one. So that is why the alkyl mercury compound is most toxic, and thereafter followed by aryl organic mercurials, then inorganic mercurials, and the last one is the elemental mercurials, particularly through the gastrointestinal tract. When you are seeing the elemental mercury absorption in vapor from the vapor form from the respiratory route, then respiratory absorption of elemental mercury is very much toxic, which is quite equivalent to the alkyl mercury. However, the elemental mercury absorption through the gastrointestinal tract absorption is least in toxic. So that is why the exception is there. So this is about the toxicity. Now we have to go through the diagnosis of the mercury toxicity, and this is very important. So when we are talking about the diagnosis of any toxicity is based upon the clinical sign, based upon the lesion you will find, and based upon the laboratory diagnosis. Regarding the clinical sign is concerned, you will find the clinical sign as per the major organ affected, like GI tract, like lungs, like brain. So this you will find the toxicity concerned to the mainly three organ: GI tract, then the lungs, and then the brain. And there are different form of the mercury compound are producing different toxic symptom. Regarding lesion is concerned, lesion is also concerned to the presence of mercury at the site. Like when you are considering this inorganic mercury, that is mainly going to produce corrosive nature. So corrosive nature of the inorganic mercury compound is going to produce GI tract inflammation, and therefore you will find the inflammation of the GI tract, and therefore you will find the lesion there also. Also you will find lesion in the kidney, because inorganic mercury is going to be deposited there, and therefore this is going to produce the kidney damage. Likewise, you will find that lesion there also. Likewise, elemental vapor form of the mercury is going to be absorbed through the lungs. So you will find the lesion there in the lungs. Regarding laboratory diagnosis is concerned, if the inorganic mercury is there, the inorganic mercury is mainly excreted out through the urine. So you will find high concentration of mercury in the urine, particularly the inorganic mercury. Then if you are going to test the fecal material, so this fecal material have the high mercury, particularly of the organic mercury compound. Now we have to discuss again with the same is the repetition. So we earlier mentioned the mercuric salt, that is the inorganic one, particularly the inorganic mercuric salt is corrosive in nature. So when it comes in the GI tract, produces the acute toxicity because of its corrosive nature. Because of its corrosive nature, precipitated the protein of the GI mucosa and inflammation, and because of inflammation of the mucosa of the buccal cavity produces stomatitis, then pharyngitis. Then because of inflammation you will find the symptom vomition. Then because of inflammation of the GI tract it produces diarrhea, and when diarrhea, this is going to produce the dehydration. So when dehydration, it produces shock, and when shock, the animal will die. So this is very interesting. So when this inorganic mercury compound in egg form get absorbed after this GI tract, this is coming in the kidney and produce the toxicity concerned to the kidney. And this acute kidney toxicity is concerned to the oliguria, means low urine, and thereafter azotemia. Azotemia means ki urine is having the high content of nitrogenous compound. So this you will find the symptom because of the effect on the kidney. Now we have to go through the alkyl mercurials. That is the symptom related to the alkyl one, that we already mentioned the methyl mercury. So we already mentioned with regarding the methyl mercury, when it is concerned with the skin is produced the erythema of the inflammation or redness of the skin, and if it is touch with the ear, eye, then this is going to produce the conjunctivitis, then sweating, then the lacrimation, and the stomatitis when it get absorbed. So in this is the earlier sign with the alkyl mercury, particularly the methyl mercury. So when early symptom vanish, you will find the intermediate sign and symptom, and that is quite similar to the neurotoxicity, because this is as earlier mentioned, the alkyl mercury compound is mainly concerned to the neurotoxicity. So because of neurotoxicity, you will find the symptom concerned to the brain, and that are depression, then the ataxia, that is the incoordination, the body is not incoordinated, then paresis means partial paralysis, then the blindness. So these are the intermediate sign associated particularly with the alkyl mercurials, particularly the methyl mercury. Now dermatological skin is concerned, that we all already discussed. So when we are talking about when this is excreted out through the through the GI tract, then you will find the blood in urine. That is the blood in urine is called melena, and you also found the blood in the urine. So blood in the fecal material is called melena, and the in urine is called hematuria, and because of this produces the anemia. So this is all symptom is concerned to the alkyl mercurials. Other in advanced stage of the clinical sign associated with the methyl mercury is also concerned to the brain or neurotoxicity, and the neurotoxicity concerned symptom are abnormal posture, complete blindness, then the loss of appetite, anorexia, then as we earlier mentioned, the paralysis, then the coma and death. So these are the symptoms you will find. We earlier mentioned the lesion. After the clinical sign is the lesion. So lesion is you have to tell as per the material, toxic material reached at the site. So when this lesion you will find on the GI tract, because when this mercury get reach in the GI tract, it produce corrosiveness, inflammation. So because of that, this is corrosiveness, this is going to produce the ulcer in GI tract, that is the gastric ulcer. And because of this is also necrotizing the epithelium of the GI tract, so necrotic enteritis. And therefore because of this inflammation, there is also the inflammation in colon, colitis, and this after the GI tract it get absorbed and it reach in the kidney, and this is mainly for the inorganic mercurial form. And when it excreted out through the kidney, it deposited in kidney, and therefore kidney lost its natural current and become pale and become swollen, and also that renal tubule necrosis occur. So this you will find the gross lesion, means lesion you will find after cutting the organ. This is the gross lesion you are going to see by naked eye, is called gross lesion. So when you are going to see the microscopic lesion, then you will have to see in the brain, and this is mainly because of the alkyl mercurials or methyl mercury. So you will find the damage in the cerebral cortex. Then regarding the third one and the last under the diagnosis is the laboratory diagnosis. First one that is the clinical sign, second one is the lesion, and third one is the laboratory diagnosis. In laboratory diagnosis, as we earlier mentioned, the mercury is going to be excreted out by you which route? By the route that mercury is going to be excreted out, you will find their amount in higher concentration. So in blood and urine, the mercury level get elevated. So when you are going to check the blood and urine, and also in you will see the high level of mercury in the organ like the kidney, liver, and brain, and therefore you can say this is the mercury toxicity. So the last one under the mercury toxicity is the treatment, and treatment part is the very important for any toxicity. So likewise the other metal toxicity, the line of treatment for mercury is also the same. And first you have to remove the material from the GI tract. Okay, when the mercury will reach in the GI tract, you have to remove the mercury from the GI tract. For that, we have to go through the emetics, we have to go through the gastric lavage, and after that, you have to give the adsorbent like egg white or activated charcoal. So these two are the you can say the adsorbent. They are going to adsorb the toxic material, that is the mercury, and you have to give these two. Also, you have to go the sodium thiosulfate. This is also coming sometime. Sodium thiosulfate is coming under the specific therapy of mercury toxicity. Why? Because sodium thiosulfate is going to bind with the sodium mercury, and this sodium thiosulfate, because this is containing the sulfur, and as you know that mercury is having capability to bind with the covalently with the sulfur. So this is one of the also very important therapy, and the dose is through oral route is zero point 0.5 to 1 gram per kg body weight as a IV administration as 20% solution. Now we have to go through the when you are giving the activated charcoal as a adsorbent, that is lies in the GI tract. It absorbs the mercury, but still the activated charcoal is present in the GI tract. So you have to remove it from the GI tract by giving the purgative or cathartics, that is saline cathartic like sorbitol. So this it will clear the intestinal tract. So this now we have to go through the specific therapy, and you can say the chelation therapy. So in this we are going to give those drugs, those agents that contain the sulfhydryl group, and these all antidote, you can say a specific therapeutic agent or chelation therapy. These all therapeutic agent for mercury toxicity contain sulfhydryl group. So in place of mercury is going to bind with the physiological sulfhydryl group compound, the mercury is going to bind with the therapeutic agent like d-penicillamine or dimercaprol, that is also called BAL, British anti-lewiside, or you can say DMSA, because these all antidote chelating agent are possessing the sulfhydryl group, and therefore mercury is going to bind with, in place of physiological sulfhydryl group, going to bind with the sulfhydryl group present in the therapeutic chelating agent. So this is very, very important. However, dimercaprol or you can say d-penicillamine is preferably or mainly or you can say the only used for the therapy of inorganic mercuric toxicity, not organic mercuric toxicity. Usually dimercaprol or BAL is contraindicated in alkyl mercury or organic mercuric toxicity, because when you are giving the dimercaprol in organic mercuric toxicity, the absorbability of the organic mercuric compound or methyl mercury get increased, and therefore it enhances the toxicity. So what I'm telling that d-penicillamine or DMSA or you can say dimercaprol, these all are the agent as a antidote or as a chelating agent or as a specific therapy of mercury is particularly or primarily or mainly for the inorganic mercuric compound, not for the alkyl mercuric compound. So this is very, very important that we already discussed. The point is here written. So this is Very, very important. What is the option for the alkyl or methyl mercuric compound? The other option of therapy of this alkyl mercuric is you have to use the selenium or and vitamin E, as well as you have to use the sodium thiosulfate, particularly for alkyl mercurial therapy. And if you will find the symptoms, CNS symptoms like seizures, ataxia, and due to neurotoxicity, you have to give the drug like diazepam. So this is all about the mercury toxicity. So this is all about the